We have an interesting leak for Star Wars Shatterpoint. Now, we're not 100% sure what this is or what it means, but I thought I would just show you because, I don't know, it's one of those things, it's leaked, it seems very important when it's leaked, I guess. So basically what had happened on one of the Inquisitor packs apparently, and I'm not sure which Inquisitor this is, on the Asmodee website, they accidentally posted some images that don't belong. Well, there was 2 images, this being one of them. Now, I haven't actually yet watched Kenobi. I think the last thing we watched was the Book of Boba, and we've not yet progressed from that. But I'm guessing this is basically the Darth Vader and Kenobi from that. But then there's an interesting question. How would you get your hands on these 2 models? And when? It's interesting because it's not the first Galactic Civil War miniature we've seen, because they pretty much showed these off at the Gen Con reveal, but it is interesting that they're already seeing like product images on the website. Obviously it was a mistake and maybe it's not meant to come for quite a while, but there's also another image that sort of clears some of this up a little bit, I think. And that is this one here. So I'm presuming that this could either be like a Rivals pack, I think MCP has those, or it might be a convention exclusive. I know they've just done one for Star Wars Legion where it's Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, they're having a duel on one of the starships, like iconic scene, that kind of thing. So it could be a convention exclusive, or it could be a pack they actually expect you to play with. I would expect that these characters will be an alternative version of the characters that we're actually going to get. You know, Kenobi here is much older, Vader isn't the one from the films, he's a little bit younger than that. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how they handle this. If it is a convention exclusive, I'm presuming there's then going to be alternative versions of these characters and they will be for sale at some point. Obviously we don't know how they will be for sale, we don't really know too much about it in that way, but really interesting. And you can sort of tell that it is MCP, the bases are just much bigger than the Legion ones, and the bases are actually thinner than the Legion ones as well. You can see here that there ain't no way that that's Star Wars Legion. The chunkier boys than those. It's an interesting leak. I'm not sure if this will probably get announced in the next coming days with May the 4th. Maybe it would make sense, but then at what point are they going to actually do this? Is this maybe next year's Gen Con exclusive or something like that? Or Star Wars Celebration exclusive? Either way, very interesting just because it's like a reveal that we didn't know that they were coming, but they are coming. Alternative characters are already on the way. We'd already seen it with Ahsoka. It's interesting that we're delving into that sort of so quickly without spreading out. That's not necessarily a bad thing or anything like that. Anyway, just a little bit of news. I thought we'd share it because why the hell not? Does it mean anything really at the end of the day? Probably not, but if you're like me, it's mildly interesting. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.